Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike any other YouTube channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, mine exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So, if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe. So, let's get into today's video. With the move updates for Season 9, I haven't really felt like it's changed the meta much. So, I haven't really played that many battles, firstly because I was working a lot, and secondly because I do think the metas are a bit stale. However, I was watching a video this morning by a fellow content creator and all-round nice guy, ChillisFm. I am going to link his video down below, and I saw him running Kanto Ninetails running Overheat. And man, he was landing some absolute nukes. So naturally I thought, I've got a Shadow Kanto Ninetails that are powered up. I've literally used for one social tournament and it's just sat in my storage. So I thought, let's bring it back out. He paired it with Melmetal and Wishcash. Obviously using all shadows, I thought, why not try out Marshstomp? So Marshstomp's going to be my Wishcash replacement. And I just paired it with Sealio because I've always wanted to make a Sealio. And I thought, I've already dropped 250,000 to make this little Marshstomp. Why not drop another 350,000 and put Sealio in? And that's going to be the team. So obviously there's a few weaknesses. We are really going to struggle against counter. But let's see how these battles go. So without any further ado, getting straight into the first battle. We are going to be leading our Shadow Sealio for the duration of this video. And as I said, we are pretty weak to counter. So naturally, we're going to see a counter user in this first game. We save switch into our Marshstomp. And the opponent actually stays in. We are going to go straight for this Surf. The opponent shields. We are going to outpace it to this next Surf. The opponent is now at their next move. I imagine they are going to try and farm us down. We get a nice bit of go battle lag. You love to see it. The opponent actually double shields. So I am kind of wondering what's in the back now. The opponent throws their energy. There's no point in me shielding. I wouldn't make it to another move. Opponent throws a cross chop and that takes us out. So I'm going to wait out my switch time. Obviously I don't want to bring back in Sealio, so I am going to have to reveal my third Pokemon. I'm not going to shield this one up, as if they go for Night Slash, I'm not going to want to shield the first one, but they are going straight Cross Chop. This is a bit surprising. I wonder if they're running Cross Chop and maybe Gunk Shot, but either way we are getting quite low now, so I'm going to have to shield this next one up. Opponent throws another Cross Chop, that would almost take us out. We overfarmed 2 Weather Balls. I fire off this first one. This should be enough to take out the Obstagoon, even though it is now debuffed, which it is. And let's see what the opponent brings in. They bring in a Clefable. So like I said at the start of the video, ChillisFM was landing some nukes. Here's the Overheat. That absolutely one-shots this Clefable. And in the back they've got an Articuno. This should be a fairly decent matchup for us. I imagine they are going to throw Ancient Power and we've got to hope for no boost. So not only did we see a counter user in the lead, which we didn't want to see, we now see an Articuno that obviously is going to get the boost on its first Ancient Powers. I go straight for this Water Pulse. I've never used Sealio. I imagine Water Pulse is probably better DPE as it gets stabbed. So we land that and now I'm going to just spam out some Body Slams. We managed to get another Powder Snow through. We are going to be able to shield this up because this Ancient Power would take us out, and I'm going to outpace him to this next Body Slam, which will take the match. So in game 1, we do get a bit of a tricky matchup, but we do manage to pull out the stops with Kanto Ninetails landing that absolute nuke. We saw Clefable come in and quickly go out. GG's to that opponent. Moving on into game 2. Moving on into game 2, we pick up a better lead this time against a shiny Nidoqueen. Our Powder Snows are hitting for super effective and we are quite bulky. This is just going to be a Poison Fang, so I am going to allow it to go through. The opponent makes a swap. I see the water typing along with something else. I thought it was Empoleon, and like an absolute noob, I switch into Marshstomp. What I should have done is stay in. However, you're going to see any Shadow Pokemon, they can just kind of bully their way through a matchup. The opponent is throwing really early, so I imagine it's just a Bubble Beam, which it is. And in this matchup, I'm just going to spam out Surfs. You can see, even though our Mud Shots are double resisted and the Surfs are resisted, we have got it down to well under half health. So even though I've made a bit of a noob swap, we are going to be in a pretty decent position. What I want to do here is I do want to put it, if possible, into a range where I can farm down with Powder Snow. Unfortunately, the opponent does beat us to the next move. I'm not going to shield. We can allow our Marshstomp to go down. I'm going to wait out my switch timer and I'm going to bring back in Sealio. Worst case scenario, Kanto Ninetails doesn't have a bad matchup in the back against Nidoqueen. I throw this charge move just before they get to their next bubble beam. I believe they're on a 4 cycle. They do shield, and as they throw their 4th bubble, before they debuff us, I'm going to throw this next body slam. Let's see if the opponent wants to go down 2 shields. They don't, and they actually bring in an Alolan Sandslash. So we're in a pretty good position here, as obviously Kanto Ninetails is going to be able to sweep. We're going to outpace this Nidoqueen to the charge move. We draw the opponent's last shield. The opponent throws again at 5, so this is a Poison Fang. I've got 2 shields, but I'm not going to shield this up because I never really want to shield the first one. These poison jabs are now doing a lot of damage. However, we are going to be able to get to this next Weather Ball, which is going to take out the Nidoqueen. Even at low health, these Powder Snows, even debuffed, are resisted. So we managed to get the Sandslash down super low. And with 2 shields, Sealio is going to be more than enough to take out that Sandslash. So off to a 2-0 start with a brand new team. Moving on into game 3. We lead our Shadow Sealio into a normal Sealio. So what I'm going to try and do here, like in every mirror match, I do try and go for the extra Powder Snow. You can see there we don't get it through, which is a bit bad for us. The opponent fires a Body Slam. I'm over farming. And again, I'm going to attempt to get the extra Powder Snow through. And again, the opponent denies us. So we are now still equal on energy. I over farm to close to 100 energy and the opponent does manage to sneak the Powder Snow through. So we're now 1 behind. I try and fire back to back and again a Powder Snow comes through, so we're now 2 behind. However, I am hoping that the extra shadow damage is going to be the difference. I believe I am going to survive this. And I'm hoping that my Shadow Body Slam will be enough to KO. So we managed to get to a last minute Body Slam. Let's see if the opponent wants to shield. The opponent lets it go through and they survive with 1 HP. They get 2 more Powder Snows. They are now at a Body Slam. So I'm going to try and snipe with Ninetails. And again, we don't get a fast move through. So every single time we've been denied. We tank the Body Slam and we get 1 Fire Spin worth of energy together, and they bring in Drapion. They fire at 4. I was staying in to see what moveset they're running, so I'm going to shield this up and make a switch into our Marshstomp. The opponent fires a couple of Poison Stings, and in the back they've got their own Kanto Ninetails, so this is great for us. We time our charge move correctly to deny the Fire Spin. We draw the opponent's first shield, and we're already at the second serve, so if the opponent lets this go through, it is going to do huge damage. The Ninetails survives with 1 HP. We finally get a fast move through, so that Mud Shot you saw go through is going to take out the Ninetails. Unlike his big brother Swampert, Marshstomp does have a little bit of extra bulk, which is nice. However, it just doesn't hit as hard. So I am going to shield this up, which is the Crunch, as I know that this Mud Bomb is going to draw the last shield, as Drapion, a channel favourite, is only weak to ground. So we can shield this up and we're going straight for this Overheat. We lose CMP, however we're in the green, so a non-stab Aqua Tap is not going to KO. We survive and this Overheat once again is going to clutch out this game. The big Overheats are booming everyone in this video, so GG's to that opponent. And we're off to a 3-0 start. So, in game 4, we see our Shadow Sealio into yet another Charmer. So, we see Clefable. So, we're going to overfarm. We're going to fake the Water Pulse and go straight for this Body Slam. Most Charmers do shield, as most people who run Charm just want alignment. They're obviously going to go for Switch. So, I overfarm again to the Water Pulse and I'll fire off another Body Slam, hoping to gain the opponent's second shield. Unfortunately, we do not. The opponent brings out a Shadow Marshstomp and snipes us. Like I said earlier, counter users are really bad for this team. The opponent builds up to 7. This could be the Rock Slide, so I'm going to shield this up. And I am going immediately for this Weather Ball. I imagine the opponent isn't going to want to shield. And I normally would overfarm, but you can see these counters from Shadow Marshstomp are absolutely shredding us. So we managed to take out the Marshstomp. they bring back in the Clefable. So at this point, I am going to shield this move up. We shield the Psychic, and I get a nice bit of farm. So I now have the option to overheat whatever's in the back. In the back is a Kofa Grigus, one of the new Pokemon. We haven't seen too much of this. Let's see if they respect the overheat. Once again, they don't respect the overheat, and we land the nuke. So the opponent goes down with 1 shield. That overheat almost one-shot him. So moving on into the last game of the video. We have our Shadow Sealio into a Registeel. Obviously this is a terrible matchup. We have 2 great responses in the back. I bring in Marshstomp. The opponent does try and get fancy and catch a Mud Bomb on a flyer. But I knew they were going to try and swap out, so I'm not having any of that. I go straight for this Surf against the tanky Lugia. And though we're now so far ahead in energy, I do believe I've got a good opportunity to flip switch. The opponent lets this next one go through. It's actually a CMP tie. You can see we're still in the green, so I can shield this up. And I believe we're going to be able to outpace this Lugia to 2 more charge moves. The opponent is now 1 Dragon Tail short of the next Sky attack, but they actually let their Lugia go down. The opponent did overfarm quite a lot, so the Registeel was at a move. They are now dumping their energy. This Flash Cannon will be enough to take out Marshstomp, which it is. However, we have now flipped this opening matchup. So we can now bring our Kanto Ninetails in. They immediately swap into Zapdos. You can see these fire spins were absolutely shredding it. I now bring in Sealio. I'm essentially just going to sack this. The opponent builds up to the Thunderbolt. However, they do bait us with a Drill Pet. You can see the tanky Sealio is not bothered by that. And due to this, we are now going to get a shield with the Body Slam. I think the opponent, who is actually an ex-legend, so we can't say it's just coming a low rank, bit of a misplay. There's absolutely no reason to bait there. But they do bait, and now they're going to get Fire Span down before they get to another move. And this Registeel is pretty much going to be at a loss here. We go straight for this Weather Ball, expecting the opponent to shield. They actually back out, so GG's to that opponent. And very nicely, we do manage to go 5-0 in that set. So, let's go through the team. Would I recommend this team? It's kind of hard to say. I went 15-5 with this team overall. 2 of the losses that I did actually incur were when I accidentally went into the Open Great League. When I led my Sealio into Azumarill in one of them games, I think it was quite clear to see that I was going to have a tough day at the office. However, I do believe that Shadow Sealio has been fantastic. Kanto Ninetails on Overheat once again has been absolutely fantastic. You saw I think 3 or 4 Overheats land in this video, and every single one of them was devastating. And little Marshstomp was probably better than I thought. I was expecting Surf, which is normally a bit of a naff move, not to be that good, but coming from a Shadow, it did prove to be quite good. And it is nice to have that Mud Bomb, as obviously even if you use Earthquake on Swampert, it is quite expensive. So I do think all 3 Pokemon are really good in Remix. However, perhaps the team comp could be somewhat better than the 3 Pokemon I threw together. However, with having success, I am going to try and run it for a couple more sets, see how it plays out. And at this stage, just like to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.